Welcome back. Very good morning to one and all. Hope you are all fine and doing well. So you all have seen, we have dealt with the basic properties of vectors in the earlier classes, and later the concept of resolution of a vector, and then the basic operations in vector algebra, which is all about addition and subtraction of vectors. Of course, this addition and subtraction of vectors will have its own applications in physics, which we will discuss in the coming classes. But earlier to that, we are going to discuss one more operation in vector algebra among the vector physical quantities. It is all about multiplication of vectors. Of course, division of vectors was not yet defined. So we are going to discuss now multiplication of vector physical quantities. Here, while dealing with multiplication of vectors, we come across two different situations. The reason it is, the combined product of vector physical quantities may give the product which is a scalar, or the product might be a vector. So it all depends on the physical quantities, the vector physical quantities that we are going to multiply. Their product may be a scalar, or their combined product might be giving a vector physical quantity. So to give this concept a little more clearly, the concept of multiplication of vectors is defined in two different ways. One is scalar product, and another one it is vector product. Multiplication of vectors can be handled in two different methods. One is a scalar product, another one is vector product. Here scalar product is also known as dot product, and vector product is also known as cross product. Here the method itself will give the meaning. When we are talking about the multiplication of any two vector physical quantities and their combined product is going to be a scalar, then we define such product as scalar product or dot product. If the multiplication of two vector physical quantities are going to give combinedly another vector physical quantity, then we do define it as a vector product or cross product. Yes, let us discuss first dot product or scalar product in detail, in which the product of two vector physical quantities will be a scalar. Here, to explain this dot product or scalar product, let us take first of all two vectors a bar and b bar. These are two different vectors, a bar and b bar. Now here their dot product will be represented as a bar dot b bar, which is defined as a b cos theta. A means modulus of a bar, b means modulus of b bar, where theta is angle between a bar and b bar. So here is the first introductory definition to the cross product. So the dot product of two vector physical quantities is defined as a bar dot b bar equal to a b cos theta. This is the first point. Yes, when you are going to see here, this product will be a scalar because a is a scalar, b is a scalar because their magnitudes, cos theta is a number which is a scalar. So the dot product of any two vector physical quantities will be a scalar. So it is a scalar product. And the best example at your standards, the best example to explain dot product or scalar product is work done. The amount of work done, W in physics, you know work. We do say a work is done on a body if we are going to change its position through some displacement. On applying force, if you are going to bring some change in its position, causing some displacement, then we do say there is work done on the body. So work done is the combined product of force vector and displacement vector. So here it is W equal to F bar dot S bar, where work is a scalar physical quantity, but force and displacements are vector physical quantities. Here F bar dot S bar can be written as F S cos theta. F means magnitude of the force, S means magnitude of the displacement, cos theta, theta is angle between force and displacement vector. Here it is the dot product example. In detail, for example, look at this diagrammatic representation. Here there is a body of mass 1. It is placed on the floor. Now I am going to pull the body using the rope and applying some force so that I can see my body is displacing along the horizontal floor. So here it is F bar and here it is S bar. There is some angle between F bar and S bar. Then the amount of work done on this body is F bar dot S bar, which is equal to F S cos theta, which is a scalar physical quantity. This is the best example at our standards to explain the concept of work done. So I give a little more clarity. We do say there is work done on a body when there is a displacement produced in the body and applying some force. For example, you are going to push a wall and applying some force, you are going to push a wall. But can you cause any displacement in the wall? Never. So there is a force acting on the wall, but the displacement produced in the wall is zero. So we do say there is no work done on that wall. So here this is a scalar physical quantity which is the dot product of a force vector and displacement vector. And later, little bit more, the ability to do work is called energy. When you wish to do some work, you should have energy, that is the ability to do the work. But based on our energy levels, we may finish the work earlier or slower. Means the same amount of work done can be finished in 10 minutes, can be finished in 15 minutes, can be finished in half an hour. That all depends on the efficiency of the person, which can be measured as power. Power, which is another physical quantity in mechanics, power P, capital P, which explains out the rate at which work is being done. Means comparing your work done with respect to time. Are you finishing this work in 5 minutes? Are you finishing this work in 2 minutes? So the particular amount of work is being finished in this particular amount of time. So when you are comparing the work done with respect to time, then we do measure it as power P, which is here another example for a dot product as the dot product of force vector and velocity vector. Because the reason it is, the power is defined as the amount of work done per unit time. If W work is done in the time interval of T, then amount of work done per unit time, which is W by T. Go to the best example. Here, cost of 12 pens is 120 rupees. Then what is the cost of each pen? 10 rupees. 120 by 12. Like that, W work is done during an interval of time T, then work done per unit time is W by T, which is the ratio of work done to the time taken. Ratio means comparison. So when you are comparing the amount of work done with the time, then we do define it as power. You know very well here, W is the dot product of force vector and displacement vector. Divided by time is there, which is the scalar. Let me attach the time to displacement. Then here F bar dot, here S bar by T, displacement by time will give velocity. So power is the example for scalar product or dot product, which is the dot product of force vector and velocity vector. So here I have given two examples in physics connecting with the dot product in vector algebra. Our topic is all about multiplication of vectors, physical quantity. And the first method is dot product or scalar product, in which the product of two vector physical quantities will be a scalar. So we are connecting this mathematics vector algebra with physics, where the amount of work done is the dot product of force and displacement, and the power is the dot product of force vector and velocity vector. But it is very important to understand the definitions of work and power. I told you, when there is some displacement produced in the body and applying some force, then we do say work is done. Of course, we discuss in detail in a separate chapter like work for energy. But the ability to do work is called energy. Later, whether you are doing work faster or slower means comparing your work done with respect to time. It is called power. So here, this is another example for a dot product of vector physical quantities. I given two examples. Few more examples are there, but at your standard, these two are the examples that can be understood very clearly. So this is all about dot product of any two vector physical quantities, which is defined as a bar dot b bar equal to ab cos theta, where theta is the angle between a bar and b bar. That is the reason why there is an additional conclusion that I can explain here. From this basic formula, I can write cos theta formula is equal to a bar dot b bar divided by a into b. Of course, a for modulus of a bar, b for modulus of b bar. So a bar dot b bar, scalar product of two vectors, by a into b, product of their magnitudes, which will give cos theta value. If you know cos theta value, you can calculate theta, which is angle between a bar and b bar. So that is the reason why, while calculating sometimes the angle between the two vectors a bar and b bar, we do take the help of dot product using formula cos theta equal to a bar dot b bar by a into b, which gives an equation for solving the angle between two vector physical quantities. So remember this formula. How do the dot product helps us to calculate angle between two vector physical quantities, which is very important. In addition to this, if you are talking about any two vectors which are perpendicular, then a bar dot b bar will be equal to 0, because cos 90 degrees equal to 0. So if you wish to prove any two vectors are perpendicular vectors, it is enough to prove their dot product is 0. I repeat, when you wish to prove any two vectors are perpendicular, enough to prove their dot product is 0. At the same time, if a bar parallel to b bar, the angle between them will be 0 degrees, a bar parallel to b bar, so that a bar dot b bar will be equal to plus ab, because cos 0 degrees equal to 1, and a bar parallel to b bar. If a bar is anti-parallel to b bar, means theta equal to 180 degrees, a bar and b bar in opposite direction, then a bar dot b bar will be equal to minus ab. So what you need to understand, the dot product of any two vector physical quantities can be 0 when both are perpendicular, and the dot product of any two vector physical quantities can be negative, because for theta greater than 90, cos theta value is negative. A bar dot b bar equal to ab cos theta. If theta is 120 degrees, or theta is 160 degrees, or theta is 180 degrees, for the value of theta varying from 90 to 180, greater than 90, less than 180, you know trigonometry, second quadrant, cos theta is negative, all silver equals. So for the angle theta greater than 90, cos theta is negative. So the dot product of any two vector physical quantities can be negative, can be positive, and even can be 0. This is one more conclusion that you can consider from the dot product explanation. So this is all about the basic knowledge on the concept of scalar product or dot product. Still, we have little more information to deal with dot product. Meanwhile, once you write down this. So topic is all about multiplication of vectors. What is the first point we have discussed? It is all about the concept of dot product. Write down. We will discuss a little more applications on this area. Yes. So we have dealt with the basic formula and the concept of dot product. Yes, what we dealt it is the dot product of any two vector physical quantities is a bar dot b bar equal to ab cos theta. So it's clearly understandable the dot product of any two vector physical quantities can be calculated using this formula when their magnitudes are known and the angle between them is known to us. But sometimes the vectors might be given in their component form, like a bar equal to, for example, a bar equal to ax into I cap plus ay into j cap plus az into k cap. X component, y component, z component. Similarly, b bar can be given as bx into I cap, by into j cap, and bz into k cap. Means vectors are given in their component form. Then how do the dot product can be calculated? Usually when their magnitudes and the angle between them is known to us, we apply this formula. But even though we can calculate their magnitudes, root of x square plus y square plus z square, but the angle between them is not known to us. So that is the reason why there is a specific concept to find their dot product when they are given in their vector component form. To know that, first you should realize that I cap and j cap are the two unit vectors which are directed along the coordinate axis. I cap is unit vector along x axis, j cap is unit vector along y axis, which are perpendicular, so that their dot product will be 0. At the same time, j cap dot k cap, which is equal to k cap dot I cap, their dot product will be 0, since all these coordinate axes are perpendicular to each other. So I bar dot j bar dot k bar dot I bar. Of course, they are unit vectors, so there is a cap. So remember, the dot product of any two different unit vectors, here it is 0, because they are defined particularly along the coordinate axis which are perpendicular. At the same time, if you are talking about I cap dot I cap, means both are in the same direction. I cap along x axis, I cap along x axis. Both are in the same direction, which are parallel. So theta equal to 0 in this formula, theta equal to 0. For 0 degrees 1. Then I into I square, where I is magnitude 1. So I cap dot I cap equal to 1, which is equal to j cap dot j cap, which is equal to k cap dot k cap. So first of all, you should realize these basic fundamental points, which is all about the dot product of unit vectors defined along with the coordinate axis. I cap dot I cap will be 1, because here I into cos 0 degrees. I into I square, where I is the unit vector along x axis, whose magnitude is 1. So I square means 1. Like that, j cap dot j cap, k cap dot k cap, the dot product will be 1. But in the case of perpendicular unit vector, the dot product is 0. The reason I am telling here, while calculating the a bar dot b bar, if you write a bar value ax I cap plus ay j cap plus az k cap dot b bar value bx I cap plus by j cap plus bz k cap. Now, while calculating their dot product here, each and every term should be multiplied with other 3 terms. So here one term multiplied with other 3, and here 3. Total you will get 3 3s are 9. 9 terms will be written here. But among the 9 terms, listen carefully. This ax I cap, bx I cap. So ax, bx scalars will be written first. I cap dot I cap will be equal to 1. But the other 2 terms is the dot product across I cap and j cap, I cap and k cap, which will be 0. So out of the three terms connecting with this first one, the 2 will be 0, only 1 is left. Similarly, with ay, when you multiply with all other three terms with ay into j cap, then ay, by will be left. Because j cap, I cap dot product is 0, j cap, k cap dot product is 0. So only j cap dot j cap will be left. Plus az into bz. So the simple point, when vectors are given in their component form, then their dot product is ax bx plus ay by plus az bz. Let me give a small example on this concept. Here, for example, listen carefully. Let me take force vector f bar equal to 2 I cap minus 3 j cap plus k cap. Similarly, displacement vector s bar equal to I cap plus 2 j cap minus k cap. One is a force vector, another one is a displacement vector given in their component form. Then the amount of work done is the dot product of force vector and displacement vector, which is equal to, now multiply the respective components. Here 2 I cap, here 1 into I cap, 2 ones are 2 first term. Next, second, here it is minus 3 plus 2, sign should be taken into account, minus 3 plus 2, it will be minus 6. Here it is plus 1 and here it is minus 1, 1 into 1, so plus ax bx, ay by, az bz, their dot product. This is equal to 2 minus 6 minus 1 minus 7, 2 minus 7 minus 5. So if force is in terms of Newton and the displacement is in terms of meters, then this work done will be in terms of Newton meter, which can be written as joule, which is the unit of work done. So how much amount of work is done? 5 joule, but work done is negative. Of course, I told you, the dot product of any two vector physical quantities can be either 0, can be positive, can be negative. Here work done is negative. How much work is done? 5 joules work is done according to the question. So this is how dot product can be taken into account when the vectors are given in their component form. Yes, now if you wish to calculate, you can calculate the angle between the two vectors. Theta is equal to a bar dot b bar by a b. In terms of a b, here f and s. The angle between two vectors can be calculated using the dot product, you know. That is, sorry, here cos theta equal to, cos theta is equal to a bar dot b bar, means f bar dot s bar by a into b. Here f means modulus of f bar, s means modulus of s. You know already f bar dot s bar is minus 5, along with the sign minus 5 by f modulus of f bar, root of x square plus y square plus z square. Yes. If you wish, I will write briefly. Cos theta is equal to f bar dot s bar is minus 5 divided by modulus of f bar, root of 2 square 4 plus 3 square 9 plus 1 square 10 into root of here 1 square 1, 2 square 4, 1 square 1, so 6. Modulus of f bar root 10, modulus of s bar is root 6. So this is equal to minus 5 by root 60, you can. That is cos theta value. As I know cos theta value, theta can be calculated. This is a little bit more application part on the concept of dot product of vector physical quantities. Once both read, we have little more things to discuss on this. Right now. Yes, so you have learnt about the basic formula for dot product. One is a bar dot b bar equal to a b cos theta when their magnitudes are given. If the vectors are given in their component form, then a bar dot b bar can be written as ax bx plus ay by plus az bz, means the respective product of the related component, and then their sum will be taken into account. And even I have given an example to you. And at the same time, you need to remember at our standards, work done is the dot product of force and displacement vectors. Power is the dot product of force and velocity vector. Apart from this, there is a little more application part connecting with the dot product of two vector physical quantities. To understand this, once look at this diagram here. Here this is A bar and here it is B bar. And let us suppose here theta is angle between A bar and B bar. Theta is angle between them. So A bar and B bar are the two vectors which are at an angle theta. The interesting point is, if you are going to resolve B bar, yes, I am talking about resolution of a vector B bar in the plane in two rectangular components. In that one is along A bar, I am studying about the resolution of B bar. I am trying to resolve the vector B bar into two perpendicular components. One is along A bar. How much that will be? B bar makes an angle theta with A bar. So the component of B bar in the direction of A bar is B cos theta only. The component of B bar in the direction of A bar is B cos theta only. Of course, we do call it as projection of B bar on A bar, because you know component is nothing but projection. Projection of B bar on A bar is B cos theta when B bar is at an angle theta. This is equal to B cos theta. But B cos theta can be written as A bar dot B bar by A, because you know very well dot product A bar dot B bar equal to AB cos theta. Now B cos theta can be written as A bar dot B bar by A. This is the projection of the projection of B bar on A bar. Yes, let me give you another example to get it more clear. For example, here this is A bar, this is B bar. Both are at an angle theta, like in the earlier case. But now I am studying the resolution of A bar. Here I discussed about resolution of B bar and its component along A bar. Now I am talking about resolution of A bar into two perpendicular components. You know, any vector in a plane can be resolved into two rectangular components in any two different perpendicular directions. So here, when I am talking about resolution of a vector A bar, I am studying about its component in this direction. The component of A bar in this direction. So kasepu din x anukuntara, y anukuntara mi ishtam. But A bar is at an angle theta with this direction, so this component is A cos theta. Of course, perpendicular component will be A sin theta. I am not bothering of that perpendicular component. The component of A bar along B bar, which is A cos theta. It means I can write it as projection of A bar. Component means projection only. Projection of A bar on B bar is A cos theta. This A cos theta can be written as here A cos theta equal to A bar dot B bar by B. So I think it is clear. Projection of B bar on A bar, which is B cos theta. Projection of A bar on B bar is A cos theta. B cos theta equal to A bar dot B bar by A. A cos theta equal to A bar dot B bar by B. This is what to learn and understand, not to by heart. If you by heart, you may go for confusion and you will write wrong answers. It's all about the projection of one vector on the other vector can be achieved using the dot product of single. Of course, you see A bar dot B bar is a scalar, A is a scalar, ultimately this is a scalar. So which is called a scalar projection. Sir, no sir, I want to write this in vector form but not in scalar form. I want vector form. Yes, when you wish to convert a scalar into a vector, you have to multiply with the unit vector. A bar dot B bar by A is a scalar. So multiply with the unit vector. Then you will get vector form. But I am studying component of B bar along the A bar. That's why this unit vector must be along the A bar. which is a bar dot b bar by a into n cap will be written as a bar by modulus of a bar. Because n cap must be unit vector along the a bar, that's why it is a bar by modulus of a bar. Can be written as a bar dot b bar, which is a scalar, into a bar, so this product will be a vector by a into a square. This is what it comes. Similarly, here if you wish to write a vector form, these are all other things to by heart to learn. Here vector form a bar dot b bar by b into n cap, but this n cap should be unit vector along the b bar. That's the reason why it is b bar by modulus of b bar. So this is how the dot product will be useful to us to identify the projection of one vector on the other vector. But this is a scalar form and here it is a vector form especially. When you want to convert a scalar into a vector, you have to multiply with a unit vector. And the unit vector should be in the direction of a bar because it is a projection of b bar on a bar. This is scalar form. You are writing vector form. So n cap must be unit vector along the a bar, which is a bar by modulus of a bar. This is all the concept of dot product of vector physical quantities. So while dealing with the operation which is a multiplication in vectors, we have dealt with one method among the two methods, that is dot product or scalar product. With few examples we have dealt. In the next class we do concentrate on the concept of vector product, which takes a little more time. Fine? Hope you will go through this meanwhile and you try the practice paper questions at warm up and gear up level, connecting with addition, subtraction of vectors. First you finish the questions at warm up level and gear up level related to the earlier concepts like addition and subtraction and resolution, position vector, all these related questions you finish first. Later I tell you, then you can enter into this multiplication. Now itself don't enter. Fine? Take care.